by, and we get a runner off to second here, Marion. A little bit early here for you as we get that. And again, as we take here Isaiah Scott up at the plate right now, Scott had a pretty solid year last year, 68 total bases for him. As a sophomore on a Coach Fish-led team where he's not afraid to put some of those guys in, especially if they're showing good promise.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Isaiah's a really, really good player. And, like you said, sophomore season like he had, only just going to continue to grow. And hitting in front of Grayson Kersh, the DMAC commit. So, he's going to see a lot of fastballs. And
he shoots that one out there into right center field. That will plate one. He will get his way all the way to second, but he's going to track all the way to third here, folks. We'll see if there's a play. Not in time. And the emotion, you love to see it here, Jay. That's what we get out of him time and time again.
Gotta love it. You can call it a scrimmage or whatever you want, but these young men are competing, and you love to see that competitiveness.
So onto the board, Marion strikes here first, 1-0. And we continue on rocking here. Again, games all over the place, all across. And that one gets rocketed out there into right field. That will plate one.
It's Grayson Kersh.
Grayson Kersh just rocking it again.
Was it last year we had the game that he hit the walk-off homer? I feel like that was last year.
There was a CPU. There was a walk-off last year, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun game. But, we always talk about these two teams' coaches, and both of them 850 wins and state titles and all that stuff. They just continue to produce good baseball players.
Right up the middle it goes. Shot over there to first. And wow. You can't forget, even though that Marion started off hot right now, this is a Kennedy team that despite some of the losses still has a lot of pop in there.
Yeah, they do. They've got they lost a lot, but they got a lot of really good pieces back. And, they got some young kids that are going to be really, really good players. So.
Takes a look there. Looks like Dawson.
Yeah, this is Dawson.
Dawson Goad. And he shoots one out there to the left side. Picked up and a fire across the diamond we go. Nice stretch out there at first. Wow. You got athleticism really wherever you go on the field here. That was pretty impressive.
That was a nice play by Danny Doyle at short. Good pick at first.
So we get 2 runs on 2 hits there, and Kennedy off to a solid start here, 2-0. And again, from Prospect Meadows here in Marion, Iowa. Hey, we're going to take a quick step away here in just a bit, but before I do that, I just want to make sure that you catch up with all that we have going on our radio show, or again, our program every week. And make sure to check out that. Again, every single week we got a lot of cool stuff here for you. So make sure to check out High and Tight every single week. Plus, we got a whole lot else in store here, as well as just a lot of great when it comes to spring league conversations that we've had, and of course that whether that be here or in Des Moines, a lot of great conversations to be had. So make sure to check out all of those on our YouTube page, IA Sports YouTube. Great chance for you to get involved there and catch up all that they have to offer there. So as we get Marion coming on to the field here, again, this is a team here, Jay, that in the end, they've had a pretty good run. I mean, honestly, Coach Fish-led team, you talked about the wins, have a state title under their belts, 8 appearances. This is a team with 20-plus wins dating back since really before Bound 08-09 season. And so they have been consistent with that mark. And again, Coach Fish has kind of been there, done that. He knows how to win.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We talk a lot about good coaching, and Coach Fish and Coach Hoyer are at the top of the list. Marion team that's gone to the state tournament 6 of the last 8 years is an impressive feat in and of itself. But I like to always say these successful programs are led by great coaches and great assistant coaches. That stuff is exciting for me to be around the game. But great coaches are what these young men really need. So it's good to see.
Yeah, and certainly always a fun time here as we get started here. And by the way, we start off with kind of a hero of a little bit of the state tournament here for Kennedy last year. I mean, I gotta say, Kennedy was obviously one of the more stellar, exciting teams last year. And obviously, it starts with the guy who's leading off.
Yeah, no doubt. Ty had a fantastic year last year as a sophomore. He's going to take on even more of a leadership role this year, and it's gonna be a great season for Ty. I remember that we did that cheeseburger review at the stadium.
Yeah,
right after Ty hit that walk off.
It was hard to kind of keep the containment on that part, honestly. The cheeseburger was good though.
It was.
So
it was.
Obviously they do it pretty well over there. All right, so again, as we continue on, a little foul ball action gets us rolling here, and that one, a little floater out there, nice pickup, fire over to first, gets it. And one of the things that I think you can always count on with Marion is they're never going to be faulty when it comes to, with Scott, obviously, yeah, but when it comes to fielding, you're just going to have a hard time getting anything past them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Talked about the coaching, and, they spend time on all those things, the defense, the team defense stuff. That's what makes a team successful in the long run, and the kids really understand the game of baseball.
That is absolutely true. As we continue on here, the next pitch, that one sails a little bit high.
Colton Durling, the senior here, you're talking about the state championship run, and Colton pitched that championship game.
That one also a little bit high up there, but again, one thing that always interests me is that every time I see, and again, there's a lot of guys who have to work their way up by the time they're upperclassmen. Man, they've had a lot of experience under their belts. As that one's dialed in for a strike. But one of the things that's also very interesting that I always take away is that there's so many guys on these lineups that go deep into counts that they're not afraid to get to a 3-2 count.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They command good at bats, and you see that out of good players.
As Durling draws the walk there. And as we get everything up here, we want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening into the broadcast here. Again, as we take a look, it is 2-0. That one gets shot back in here. And again, another size for this Kennedy.
No doubt. Deacon Kucher is a big young man, and a heck of a good basketball player and football player as well. So they'll be looking big things from him this year.
And one of the things here too, Jay, as a guy who's been around the game from coaching standpoint and all that, you get something like this. I know teams do scrimmages, but this has to be a little bit above and beyond that.
Yeah, that's right. I know Kennedy had a scrimmage on Friday night. And, tonight just feels a little bit different, right? There's a different feel with, other high schools and stuff here. And, it's getting closer to crunch time, and I'm gonna start.
Oh man,
good read on the ball in the dirt there. But coaches are going to start, fine tuning things a little bit and kind of honing in on some positions for some guys. So you're right. I mean, this is a little bit more of a middle of the season type game.
2-strike count. Did he go? No, he did not.
Oh, where's he going?
Or he did.
Oh, he did. He
Did I see that wrong there, Jay?
I thought he appealed it, and he said he didn't swing.
Oh, I thought he did too. Maybe I got that wrong, but nonetheless, it is deemed a strikeout here anyway.
Yeah, the guy in the field for sure said it was no swing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought too at that point. But hey, you know
All
what?
right. Well,
We don't get paid the big
no
bucks.
doubt, no doubt.
Looks like if I believe Jacob Doyle
Yep.
up on at the plate here.
Fantastic young man right here. As I said earlier, he's going to the Air Force. So
Yeah, hit 316 last year on
Yeah.
a team that had, again, was loaded.
yeah,
You know, you talk about Nolan Graw. What a year he is having
no
for
doubt.
South Dakota State
Yeah,
right now.
that's incredible. And you know, you're kind of around some players and see them do their work. And that's something that's awesome to see. It's not surprising, but really cool to see a freshman step into Division One lineup and play the way he has. And again, it goes back to Coach Hoyer and knowing the game and all those things.
No doubt about that here. And as we, before we go and take a quick break here, I do want to say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, but also thanks for giving back to this event here. If you get the chance, I mean, this is an every year thing. Get over here. There's a lot of fun when it comes to this. And so, you know, it really is it's a fun opportunity. And I think in the end, if you're a baseball fan, just get out here. You get the chance to see a little bit earlier stuff here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. No better place to be. You can swing around all four fields and see a lot of really good teams. And you know, the rankings came out, and you're going to see a lot of those teams that you got ranked here tonight. So.
Indeed, and you can catch all those rankings. Make sure you head on over to IA Baseball on Rockfin. You'll be able to catch up on a lot of that stuff here. And again, all kinds of thoughts, comments, well wishes, and more. Of course, we're not certainly. You get the chance to give a whole lot more as well. So get out there and give us your thoughts and anything. We always looking to improve.
Yep.
At Prospect Meadows.
So again, here from Prospect Meadows here at Marion, and again, Scrimmage. This isn't the normal type. This is a normal game. You get a little bit more leeway when it comes to some of these things. So ultimately here, how do you, as a coach, how do you kind of play this a little bit here? You know, if I'm looking at this as Coach Fish, you know, how do I roll out the guys? What am I going to do? Limited action, obviously, with being a scrimmage.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you're going to get in a bunch of guys and you know, get the pitchers to work in. But again, you know, you're still trying to see, you know, hey, this guy can play on the left side or the right side, whatever. There's still some fine tuning that they're doing. So you know, it's early. It's good to see.
Again, Tate Ray up at the plate. We've already seen what Big Brother was able to do at Kirkwood this past year a number of times. You know, again, so many guys you look down. Bloodline in baseball runs with both of these two teams. It's amazing. I love it.
No doubt. Yeah, you look through their lineup and there's about 3 or 4 last names that you go, oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that guy before.
Seen that kid. He's got a good brother. So, yeah, how about his brother, man? That's pretty awesome for him. I actually saw him when I was walking in, so he's out here somewhere. But
oh man,
yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool to see a young man like that going to the University of Kansas. And,
I know you were probably jumping up and down when you saw the announcement here because he's been through injury woes. You know, he's had to work through a lot of things in his life, and you know, in the end, he's a guy that among a lot of guys here can embody what this whole event is about.
Yep, that's exactly right. You go through some struggles, and you know, talking about mental health and you know, kids that go through an injury like that, whether it be the arm or anything that they have. I mean, that in and of itself puts you in a bad mood, and you know, so having stuff like this for those types of events is really beneficial.
Lucas Stearns draws down a bunt here, and that ends up going foul. We'll end up having to have everybody head back to their respective spots. Again, Marion is a team that, you know, man, they've had 5 30-plus win seasons since that 08-09. That's back when Bound at least right now, has kept stats. And again, we've routinely seen guys like this on this program do that. And of course, Kennedy the same way, as that one's keeping them honest over there at first. But yeah, you keep seeing a lot of these guys come up here. Again, really well tested. A lot of guys on the perfect game scene, which again, these fields are pretty, like home to them sometimes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Just got done playing in the spring league out here, so they're well accustomed to these fields out here.
And again, a shout out to what they do here at Perfect Game, because you had teams from Ontario coming down here. We caught one of those games here in the preseason, so it was just the fact that you get international flair to it is just, for me, beyond. It's beyond fun, and it just shows what Iowa can do when it comes to baseball.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I know we had Travis on last. Travis Mueller runs that stuff and does a fantastic job. And again, he's always talking about growing the game of baseball, and he's right there at the forefront of helping do all that stuff.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue on, don't forget, as we got Jaron Griffith up at the plate, getting the chance to get his hacks in here today. First pitch, he fires down. That will be a strike. So strike one starting off this at-bat here.
Finally, for Jacob getting ahead.
Trying to keep him honest over there at first, and I don't blame you. You got some good speed out there. So one down here. That one can't quite find its way in. That's a ball here. But one thing was really, really cool, again, to see about this Marion squad is they end up, the last year that they were the Marion Indians, they go ahead, take the title there. And since then, they've just been so consistent here. Last year, I think in the end you had to be a team to win state in order to beat a team like this. And that happened to be North Polk in the end, a great game there. But, man, as that one sails up high, not going to make that zone here. But, again, that's what we like to see, grown accustomed to seeing here. And in the end, so many of these guys end up going out here and they play situational baseball so well. That one almost get them there. That one gets away from them there just a bit. But good job to kind of keep that one in play and in close. But, yeah, so many of these guys, situational baseball, they're not afraid of. And I think at high school here, Jay, so many guys are just afraid to lay down that bunt or afraid to lay down or just don't. It's not the flashiest thing in the world. As that one gets shot out there into left field, and we now have runners in scoring position.
Yeah. Coming up now, Bryson Oberbrockling, sophomore. So nice to see a young man like this. His dad is a heck of a great umpire. Still is. Works college games. So this kid's talking about baseball bloodlines. He's got it as well.
No doubt about that. As we continue on, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch this wherever you can catch this on YouTube. However you catch that, we'll do highlights and more as we go through, as that will strike one there. But again, coaching legends up here. Truly, if you want the best baseball, as that one gets thrown out there to second, and got a little airmailed there, but in the end, good thought.
Yeah, good idea. Trying to keep them close, trying to stealing out on the bases. Before lineup turns back over to Jake.
Oh, yeah, Dowell's in there for a strike there. 2 on the count here. We got 2 runners on, and again, it's just kind of busyness here early for Marion. And one of the things, too, is every year, the last 2 years especially, there's been that speed element for this Wolves team. And for that matter, we saw it with Kennedy. But, man, that certainly puts a lot of pressure. You got a veteran, you got a guy who knows how to work under pressure up there. But there's still pressure to be had nonetheless.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, you talk about good coaches, and they're going to do those things. They're going to take extra bases. They're going to run the bases hard, steal bases, and just putting pressure on other teams. And
that one gets shot out there.
Good piece there, stay alive.
That could have been at least. I was going to score too, at least.
Yeah, for sure. That was going to be a double for sure. But yeah, it's you love to see teams put pressure on the defense, and these two teams definitely do that. One out of here. Let's see what he goes to in the count. 2-2. Oh,
That one.
oh, just missed. Just missed.
3-2 ends up going in. Another walk here for Kennedy. Not something we see a ton here, but 2 walks in the inning have now loaded the bases for a dangerous Marion team.
I wonder if his dad would have called that a strike.
I wonder.
Bases loaded now for Jake Miller, back to the top of the lineup. See if they can turn one. Jake's not a good.
That one gets shot out there into center.
Deep fly ball to center. That'll score one.
Hits it. And now, is anybody coming? They say no.
Oh. Well, Coach Fish isn't happy with him right now. We got a good teaching moment, and that's what these games are for, right? Coach Fish is going to get the young man squared away. We'll be sure that doesn't happen again. I know that.
Yeah. And again, one of the things you see is, there was a little frustration in him right there, but Coach Fish, gosh, he never seemed like he gets too mad.
No. And I think, that's the thing with Coach Fish, and I'll pitch on the corner for a strike. But Coach Fish and Coach Hoyer both, so calm and collected. And that's their ability to coach and get through to these young men, and that's the leadership roles that they're in, and obviously very, very successful at it.
Again, as we have a 1-1 count here, again, bases are full of Wolves here. And that one, he's held off that one wisely, I guess. That one looked like it was close, but in the end, he knew better. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, the lineup doesn't get any easier after.
It sure doesn't.
Getting past Jake, with Isaiah here, and then Grayson next. Yeah.
And, honestly, you take a look at some of the juniors that we've had on our junior list, and even seniors. And again, Marion keeps dotting those things. Again, when you talk about juniors, I mean everywhere really. But I love Scott, I love Kersh, and man, did they pack a 1-2 punch here. And again, those are kind of guys that have seen and done that.
Yeah, that's right. Coach Fish does a really good job of these guys come in as young guys, and they find their little niche. Maybe they're playing out of position for a year, and guys graduate and they move into bigger roles, and so it's a well-oiled machine, that's for sure.
That one gets shot left side. That will be double down the line for sure. We're getting 1 run home, and another keeps coming out. And wow, standing up is a nice ringing double to it. And again, what can we expect more out of them? I mean, this is
that's exactly right. It's like they're going to roll the inning. They got I think they're doing 6 hitters, maybe 6 hitters.
Yep.
But yeah, that's.
Yeah, no doubt about that here. So again, as we continue on, 2 more runs do cross the plate here, and so again, this is scrimmage. This we only go I believe
for the 9 innings. But yeah, I think there's 6 hitters, 6 hitters per half. Just kind of keep things moving, and obviously they get to see a little bit different action from a bunch of different guys here. So.
And obviously, we'll love to see that. Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to put a pause on things. We'll be right back after this. But, hey, don't go anywhere. We got more conversation coming on up here from Prospect Meadows here in Marion. All right. So put that there. My scenes have here. Perfect. There, video here. See, are we third or second inning or third inning? I lost track.
This is the bottom.
In Iowa, we are fortunate to have a lot of opportunities to get involved in at our schools. Athletics and activities have so many positive effects.
From learning how to build relationships
and healthy lifestyles,
and gain self-esteem and confidence.
4-0,
make
right?
participation a priority. You and your school will benefit.
Talk a lot of Kennedy here on this one. Who's up now?
Max Leno.
Leno?
Yep. He's going to Southeastern to pitch,
All right.
and really just pitched last year.
Yeah. Come back here in 3, 2, 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back here. It's Marion 4, Kennedy nothing. Scrimmage time, though, is, again, we're doing 6 batters here. That one, shout out there to Scott, a good pickup. And honestly, gosh, what can you say? Great pitching out there, because honestly, Scott has fielded a few of those, but they've looked pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. You're exactly right. Couple of choppers still in, made a couple nice plays. Coming up here, Brady Dill, the catcher. Kennedy's gonna, look to obviously graduating the senior 4-year guy that caught for him. So Brady's gonna take on a big role this year behind the plate, and be called on to maybe even catch both games of doubleheaders, all that stuff. So it's gonna be a good fun year for Brady.
And you know what? Kennedy still brings back so much firepower in this.
Yeah.
Is this a team here, Jay, that honestly, do you feel as this one gets skied up here, this one is coming down into the glove here, and nicely done as pitcher records out number 2.
Good round with the catch there. The pitcher's calling everybody off, or normally you're having everybody call off the pitcher. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they do have a lot of firepower back off of a team that was no doubt from start to finish the best team in 4A, and top to bottom. I mean, the arms, the position players. It's just an unbelievable group, and they like I said, they do have some firepower back. They got some pieces, but they're going to have some guys really step up and fill some big roles. And you mentioned Nolan Graw earlier, but you go up and down that lineup of kids that are off now playing in college. And, you're just going to have to try and piece some things together to fill those spots.
And no doubt about that here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Jay Wendell, Andrew Brown here for you as we are live from Prospect Meadows here. It's Marion taking on Kennedy in scrimmage action here. And Marion already with 4 runs here. Again, roughly 6 batters an inning is what we're looking at here. That one goes in for ball 4, and that will draw the first walk. Andrew Amon has, I believe, had this
he's
entire
done a nice
game.
job.
The second walk,
Yes, yep. That's Danny Doyle there with a walk, and we'll see if he can see if coach will let him run a little bit. He's got good speed to swipe a bag or two here.
That one will swing on for strike 1.
Logan Miller here, the senior, committed to Blackhawk. And, like we talked about guys taking on roles, and Logan's they're gonna need to get some big numbers out of Logan this year. See if he can lose a few balls, early and get on a bit of a hot streak that they can ride.
Well, and it's always important when you can have guys down at the bottom of the lineup that, as they did last year, act as kind of secondary leadoff guys, ultimately in the grand scheme of things. That one shot out there to second and got away just a bit, and he thought about taking 2. And then as we, again, give a shout-out once again to Perfect Game.
Hey, Travis is right here.
Give a shout-out to Travis.
It's like his ears were ringing. We were talking about him just a minute ago about how great of a job he does, so you have to get him on here.
Oh, of course.
He said like the 3rd or 4th.
Yeah. I mean, hey, he's a regular at this point.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. So, yeah, you guys just let me know. All right.
Well, perfect. So, hey, again, as we get going here, we caught a glimpse of him there, but that was out number 3 as we now head into it. But we're going to take another quick break. When we come back here, we'll have more conversation and hopefully get some more guests coming on up here as well. But again, this is Strikeout the Stigma event. Marion up here early as we head into inning number 3 when we return.
In Iowa, we are fortunate to have a lot of opportunities to get involved in at our schools.
I wish this showed every number.
Athletics and activities have so many positive effects.
From learning how to build relationships
And healthy lifestyles.
And gain self-esteem and confidence.
Make participation a priority. You and your school will benefit.
Top three. I thought it was later, honestly. The start time, I thought it was later, so I thought
I thought, yeah, it was, yeah, that's what I thought too. They were supposed to go off of after the speaker got done and the pitchers were ready or something.
Yeah, which I'm okay with starting a little earlier. Yeah. I was like, oh man, I wasn't necessarily all that prepared.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kersh stepping on up here for us as we get rocking here to start inning or get ready for inning number 3 here. And again, Jay Wannell, Andrew Brown, thanks again for joining us along for the ride. Any thoughts, comments, more, let us know. We'd love to hear from you as that one gets shot out. And that one,
Grayson.
Wow, what a shot. Grayson is
on the trail from first.
You know, one of the things
easy stand-up double for him. We talked about him earlier. I mean,
yeah.
And he's comes out swinging a hot bat, singled first at bat, doubles there.
Already RBI under his belt.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the kid's going to have a fantastic year, and you know we've talked about him in previous years and previous broadcasts, and he now becomes that senior, and he's even more so the guy now for them and opposing teams, and you know it's going to be to me in that situation, right? You got to be a little bit more selective with the pitching, and you know, because he's definitely
going to hurt you in many ways.
Absolutely, he's going to lose a bunch of baseballs, and so keep him in the ballpark and try and keep him on first.
And no doubt about that. And again, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, wherever you can catch us, we are here live. We're also got some photos and other quick video that we'll be doing from the event here. A lot of different places, a lot of different ways you can catch up on what we're doing here. And again, from social media, X. That's the first time I've said X instead of Twitter. So,
good job.
Count me up with the times here, Jay. As that one gets foul ball for strike. But again, it is wherever we're at, Facebook, Instagram, and X, you can go ahead and catch us everywhere. All kinds of highlights and more coming here from this game.
That's good.
And again, as we keep rocking off, again, Kersh standing on second. Elijah Scott with a poke up there. That one's narrowing. Catch out there, and there will be no throw made over. No tag, I should say, over to third. So we still remain. We get an out there, which is kind of a big one. Again, you still got some speed on there. As again, Ray comes back up to the plate.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Ray so far has garnered a walk in his first trip. Or actually, let's make
this
sure.
This is Dawson Goad.
Dawson Goad, excuse me.
All right, one spot in the lineup off.
And he swings through that one, strike one. Again, a runner on and one out. Goad, I believe, got into the double play the last time up when he got on. But certainly would love to get on to stay on and come around the base paths here. Runner on second. That one gets away, and we got a runner taken off. Kersh will easily stand there at third. And rightfully so. That one looked like he was trying to mix around with the pitch a little bit. Looked like it got away.
Yeah, it sure did. You can tell. Obviously, we talked about the scrimmaging early, and they know they got some kinks to work out. We said it before. You lose what they lost, and you gotta get some guys comfortable in some new positions, and get them ready by Monday. So.
That's right. And speaking of, we'll be live, loud, and proud at Wahlert versus Xavier to start the season Monday. And you know what? What a better field! No better field really. When you take a look at it, great atmosphere, and we can't wait to be rocking that.
Yeah, that's going to be great. And you look at preseason 3A, and Dubuque Wallert's going to be back at the state tournament and looking to make a big run. And with the pieces that they have back and the young guys, it would not shock me at all to see them in the championship game and in the championship game against Marion or there's sleeper in Benton Community maybe. So there's some good baseball over here, and that'll be a fun one, first game of the year.
And that one gets popped way up there. That will go right back from whence it came almost. Again, coming up there to grab the catch 4 out right near the mound there. So, again, it's working out so far in this inning.
No doubt.
But, again, like you keep saying, we just don't have much wiggle room here, as in the end, Tate Ray steps on up to the plate.
Yep. I got a serious question about that Wahlert game. Is there a pregame at the log cabin? What's
man, we should definitely get rocking that.
Is he going to be delivering steaks, or do we have to go there?
Man, do they Uber?
Uber Eats?
Yeah, do they Uber Eats?
I think if we just called Dino and said, "Hey, we need." Take a couple meals to go, maybe he'd fill us up in the booth.
Oh yeah,
free advertising.
There you go,
a little extra.
We love what they do, and plus not only that, but shout out to we'll have our preseason kickoff here coming on up this week. It'll be in Dubuque. It'll be at a great, absolutely great facility. Making sure we get all the details ironed out here for sure, but a lot of good stuff coming your way when it comes to all of that and more. So make sure to tune in there as we got a runner on, and again, a runner on home here makes it 5-0. Still 2 out. That one is in there for a strike. Stern stepping on up. He struck out his first time, looking to get a little bit of revenge here. That one tried to backdoor it there, and no go for there. That will draw the ball. Again, as we roll along, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch this again archived at IE Sports on YouTube, where you're finding it right now. Plus highlights all over. It doesn't matter where, we will be there. And plus, we got some other short video and all kinds of cool things coming here your way as we get rocking. But yeah, we will be alive here from the season opener at Wahlert versus Xavier. I mean, historically, those two programs you really can't beat.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Two good ones.
And that one gets fouled back, and doesn't quite get into the other field. Again, we're at BECC Field. McGrath Field to our left. Behind us, Perfect Game Field.
Almost landed right in his bucket of popcorn.
You know what? What a better thing. You know what? You get popcorn and a baseball.
Yeah.
As that one is in there for strike 3. And that's how we wrap up this half of the inning here. It caught him looking here as he gets set down. Stearns with the second strikeout of the game. And with that, we are going to go ahead and we're going to take a quick break here. We'll have more coming on up here. It's the Perfect Game Field, Perfect Game facility here. It is Strikeout the Stigma. We'll be back after this.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, Sportsmanship starts with us.
I remember personally when I was young watching the guys that were playing sports, basketball, football, wrestling, whatever it was, when they were in high school, and just thinking, I mean, how great they were and just wanting to be like them when I was older. So yeah, we are definitely always role models for those younger kids, those middle schoolers.
One. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back here into the broadcast here. Andrew Brown from the Perfect Game complex that is Prospect Meadows. Absolutely stellar. But for right now, we're going to bring you in as we get a cool conversation here with Gabe Rummel, who is the main guest speaker here for this event. And Gabe, you and I got the chance to talk last time. In fact, we had a really good interview, and I absolutely loved it. A precursor to what was your speech here today. But I got to ask here, first and foremost, what are your thoughts on, again, the event again like this? Getting the chance to speak out in front of a lot of real high caliber athletes. I mean, these guys are going to be doing a lot as that one gets picked up the middle and a nice toss, but unable to connect on there as we get you back out to the field here. But again, I want to get your take on, now that you're seeing the event live here, I mean, what are your thoughts on this entire event?
Yeah, well, I came here last year. I was fortunate enough to get in contact with them all and got to get a table last year. I'm talking about like bare bones what I had on it, but so just to come back this year and be in the position that I am, I'm just pretty thankful for it, and it's nice to know. I know some of these teams, some of the athletes. I've been coaching them now. We already started working together, and just to see them all here and to know how they keep implementing this stuff, right? Kind of some of the stuff we used in our talk. It's pretty cool just to see them, and like you said, some of the even high caliber athletes. Like I think the bigger the athlete you are, the more the stage you're on, and the more these resources, the exercise, and all the tables out there are great to have.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Here again, as that pitch is nice and swung on there. A good off-speed pitch gets him pulling the string just a little bit. And now we have a 2-strike count here. Now bring Gabe back into the mix. And so, Gabe, one of the things that we talked about, and we talked about pretty early there, was making sure that, I mean, you do a lot when it comes to, as that one goes in for a ball, the athletes, making sure really you're mentally ready, prepared, and even on the go, kind of helping things out. You do a lot when it comes to, you talked a lot about making sure you're ready, prepared, like you're working out. You have a coach, you have an infield coach, you have a hitting coach, a pitching coach. Why not have a mental health coach?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it comes back to, you're out here in the field, you're out here getting ready to play. Like, things are going to happen in any sport, but especially baseball. You get that little break between each pitch, each hit, but you got to get ready for the next one. And it's how do you get ready for it? You can't take those things with you. And I just knew there were different ways that you can handle it, right? Quick actions to throw on top, kind of like we talked about before.
Silas Rell now up on the mound here for Marion, getting the chance to toss it here against Kennedy, as Marion with the lead here in this one. Again, it is a scrimmage action here, as that one's in there, dial it in for the strike here. And also, Gabe, it's really fun when we now can be a little bit more free with our thinking now. And not like we couldn't before, but man, 10, 15 years ago, man, there was that stigma. You can't talk about mental health, but now, as that one's chopped foul, now it's so openly free, and you see stars on the national stage, global stage, and you're going, man, this is kind of real. And I think in the end, however you want to say it, we're stronger because of it.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I know some MLB pro athletes here, retired, but back when they played, however many years ago, they could not really talk about all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they went to a sports psychologist, but they had to keep it under the table. And now it does help your game, help you perform better, in baseball and then just in life too, for any challenge.
And that's the thing too. One of the things I really enjoyed is that you talked about the fact is that one goes for ball and we get runners now at the corners as that one gets by there. But so many things of what you do is translatable to life as well. That's the one thing I really took away as well, is that there's so many things that, when the end we get done with the game and we go back home. And, so many things are like, what do you do during the game, in the game, on the field? But a lot of your practices help from when you get home as well.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you brought this up last time, which was such a good point, where you are asking about the things that are happening in life. And I mean, so besides the sport, you have things happening all the time, especially nowadays. Like, it just seems like more and more things happen. So it's, how can you separate it? How can you segment it so you can keep doing what you got to do in sports and life, and then handle it as you go? Because the world's not stop spinning. You can't just stop.
That's right.
So it's, how can we help that and hopefully help catch it a little earlier so you can strengthen it so you don't get hurt.
Runners on the corners here for Kennedy, and that one gets struck right out there to second. A nice flip and a toss over to first, gets the double play.
Wow.
That's how you call it. That's a slick trick double play right there. And again, all these great plays will be seen throughout the season, brought to you by Insulates and Casmium Sports, and make sure to check them out today here. But as we get another out here and keep rocking and rolling, we do want to remind everybody to make sure to check out IA Sports, whether it comes to wrestling, whether it comes to basketball, track. We got a huge thing, including softball, which is we just started. So if anybody's interested in helping us out with the softball world, we'd love that here. But one of the things too is with an event like this here, Gabe, is bring you back into the fold here.
Yeah.
This is really a cool thing to talk about, that we get to connect to these two dots, sports and mental health. And so many kids now are engaged. Like, a lot of their life revolves around the sports that they play, the activities that they do, whatever the case may be. And maybe that was the case even when we were in high school and such. But I find now that so many are engaged. When when you get to somebody, you say, hey, well, tell me about yourself. I am a teacher. You go tell kids, tell me about yourself. Well, I play this, I do that. It seems like that's one of the first things that comes out of their mouth. So, I guess it makes sense that when you prepare yourself in the right way, I mean, you're helping out one of the biggest causes of your life.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone has their identity, right? And that's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you prepare it the right way and you are looking at yourself as that one specific identity, then you can set yourself up for more success. But then it's also important to, like you're saying, you just listed off one identity that a person would say, that give themselves that one identity.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of other identities, right? You might be done playing in high school, but you're still going to play slow pitch. You're going to keep the game going some way, shape, or form. Go to something else. And just so I don't forget, I loved how you brought up all the other Iowa sports, because even when I was down there were some kids telling me, like, man, we need something like this for basketball. Like, we need something like this for the other sports. And I think slowly but surely that kind of mental side of the game is being more known throughout the state here and just overall too. So it's pretty cool.
Which is, as always, it's fun when we get that word out.
Yeah.
Man, it brings a lot of energy to it, because in the end, we're so much freer. We're playing a little better. And, so many of these guys, in the end, I think you and I talked about it, we're a more connected society now, but is that always the best thing? And it seems as though when you go out there, I mean, how do you describe that situation to athletes? Or, in the end, they're going to want to put their stuff out on social media for everybody to see. And of course, kids will be kids. They want to see social media stuff. They want to be involved. But how do you interact with that as an athlete in today's game? Is there too much of that? Can there be too little of it? Ultimately, how do you walk that line between getting what you need out there, yet still, I assume, healthily taking a break from it?
Oh yeah, the social media thing is huge. As I've been doing this past year or so, a lot of parents coming up to me like, "Hey, you do anything for the social media aspect? This," and yeah, there's a huge thing you can do for it, right? Like that is, as you're saying, more connected. But I go, are we like the social media is just the highlight reel, really all it is. A lot of Photoshop on it too, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, oh yeah.
half of it's fake, half of it's just the highlight reel. You don't see all the rest. So one thing I actually really like to do with teams and athletes is like, and I know some people who make these. You make like your grind montage, like where you're putting in the hustle, putting in the work, and that's what you post. You don't always have to post all the highlight reel. You show that. That's just as good. Put that on your X. Get it in front of the coaches. That's what you're trying to do. Go to the next level. Show your work and not just the highlights. And that's what also coaches love to see as I keep talking to the collegiate programs and everything else. So that's my social media take. You know?
There you go. And one of the things I like too is that when you get coaches at that next level saying, you know what, we want you to be realistic with a lot of things. You know, we don't want the drama that comes with it. So, you know, a lot of stuff that what you're talking about, it seems to ease coach's mind. It can, at least on paper, right? You know, they don't have to worry about any drama, this stuff. They know you're grounded. They know that there's a lot of things there. So what you're talking about now, if you're a high school athlete, this has compounding effects, not just for what's right now, but gosh, you're going to look very, very good in the eyes of any recruiter, and if you go beyond college, of any scout that will ever be out there. And I mean, if you can't get your mind right, there's no way you're going to get your body right.
Yeah, just because I've been fortunate enough now with some connections to talk to like Division I coaches and talk to just a lot of coaches, and they're looking for more than just your stats on paper, right? They're looking for all the other stuff, and that the hustle, everything else, it does tie back to the mental side and how you approach that, which is once again why I think it's so important, and the fact that it is now being talked about is great, but I think it's always been there a little bit, but it just wasn't highlighted now. Highlighted the ones who take advantage of it really can set themselves up for more success.
And gosh, isn't that the name of the game? Set yourself up for success, to have more success. I mean, in the end, it just makes it so, I mean, it's in the end theoretically easy, but still a lot of things that you got to go through, a lot of mental barriers to break through. But I guess as we wrap up here again, as we talk about the community that you built, that continues to build here, the fact that again, this is versatile. You can go anywhere and do this. You know, the athleteshealth.com. We talked about that already. The online, which is very, very easy, very user friendly. You go in there, you get signed up, get part of it. There's a lot of there's options for you to choose from, and certainly one thing is that you are consistently there checking up. That's part of what you do, and so if anybody else wants, for all those interested, they want to get involved here, this is something that they can take with them if they're on vacation, if they're at home, if they're at a game. Certainly you've made it very versatile in a fantastic way. You know, somebody easily gets online. Our phones can do that wherever you want. So it seems like this is not only a great thing to do just in general, but it's so quick, so easy, you can make it happen.
Yeah, and I mean, you're kind of hitting on all the points that I wanted to bring, not only to the area but to online, and to hit on that point fast. Like, I wanted to create something where you wouldn't just need a coach to coach you through it, but you could have access to it too for the parents if they wanted to learn some of the stuff, to implement it all the time, have help from other people, but then also go through the coaching. And you're right, I wanted to do it here first, just because I knew the most people here. I had the connections. But I also knew it was something that was needed. I know a lot of great athletes who've come out of Eastern Iowa, and then Iowa in general. So making that slowly but surely grow, and really, like I kind of said in that speech, something I'm really starting to hit home more is that culture. Like, build a culture around this, of the mental side of the game, of leveling that up. All of a sudden, the athletes and the people that come out of here, Because I know a lot of people who stopped playing their sport, but they're great people and great leaders in whatever they go into. We can just build more of that. So that's really kind of the goal with it, Andrew.
As that one, Durling shoots that one out there left side. We have a runner now on first here, a pitch runner here for Kennedy coming on up. Tate Ray is the hurler on the mound for Marion right now as we stand. As we continue on here, Doyle now stepping on up here for Kennedy, getting a chance here again, heading into the branch of the military here, the chance to do good things. And one of the things too that again, a good piece of why what we're talking about comes into play. Guys who really have good head on their shoulders, even those need help, and so we all need help. And again, why this event is here, but. Hey, Gabe, I appreciate you coming on in, getting the chance to talk with us here. I can't wait for more conversations, honestly, in the future, because there's so many instances where we come up on. And, you know, again, the season's filled with them. I know there are always types of big events like COVID, this stuff. Hopefully we don't have that again. There's a table off to my right. I'm knocking on wood here, guys. I'm making sure it doesn't happen. Don't worry. But,
Thank you.
you know, there's always something. There's always different events that come up here. So we always got to make sure we're on top of it here. But the world is ever changing. So I think it's important that we kind of change with the times. And again, where you can do it most mobile and most impactful, obviously that's what you bring. So I appreciate you bringing this here. Again, this is so much needed. And honestly, if we had a time machine, that did come up here, folks. It almost came into the booth here. I was about to get a free ball, you know. That was or a new camera,
Yeah,
or a new
the
camera. Either way, however we deem that. But again, thank you for creating this in a way for athletes to get the chance to just have something that they can go to. And again, thanks for all the time you put into it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Andrew. I really do. So.
Well, hey, and again, Gabe, want to appreciate it. Thanks again for coming out. And again, if anybody wants to be a part of it, I mean, how can somebody either be a part of it or try and help or anything like that? If someone wants to volunteer some time, is there anything that they can do, any word that they can put out here for you?
Yeah, I mean, growing it thus far and even being here now, a couple of people came up and talked to me. That word of mouth is really what I'm going with this is one person hears about it or they do a little bit with it and they tell someone else because this is pretty new to the area from what I found. From the vision of where I'm trying to take it, pretty new of where it's going to go for the area to help them out, get coaches, coach a lot of people and there.
That one gets shot up pretty high and that one will come down into the glove and kind of a little bit of a slip there, but the ball gets away just enough and keeps a runner for Kennedy on there. But again, Gabe, appreciate the time here. And, you know, it's been a busy day for you, I'm sure, but hopefully it gets a lot busier here for you as you go throughout the time. And so, again, whether it's in Iowa or more or beyond, make sure to get in touch with Gabe. And again, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, looking forward to being on Iowa Sports again, Andrew. Thanks.
Oh, can't wait for it. Thanks again, as always. Yeah. Again, ladies and gentlemen, as we go through here, make sure to, again, check out the Athletes Health online here. We'll make sure to pop that up here for you in just a bit. But plenty of chances for you to get involved there. Again, Ray on the mound right now here with one on for Kennedy, looking to get their first score here and get into this one here. Again, as that one is chopped right side, a slow chopper picked up easily there at first. Nicely done. But in that meantime, we do get a runner over there to second here. So a runner in scoring position. About the third time Kennedy has had that, looking to try and capitalize here for the first time. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here as we get rocking and rolling here. The top of inning number 5 will be coming on up here as a couple long outs end up thwarting what was Kennedy's, again, third chance to get something rolling with men in scoring position. But, I get the chance here, as always, to have some real good conversations here. And we get Travis from Perfect Game joining us here right now. And, the last time as we bring you into the fold, ladies and gentlemen, let me make sure to get that up here. But as we bring you back into the fold here, Travis, I gotta say, one, last time you and I got the chance to talk here, it was when there was host of a Canadian team here.
Oh, yeah.
We got Team Ontario with what was a fun game to call there in the end. And in the end, we'll talk about a lot of, again, the opportunities you bring to kids here. But first off, your take here. One, an event like this, Strike Out the Stigma, you get the chance. You host a lot of events here, obviously, a lot of things that go on here. But how much meaning do you find packed into something like this? And again, well, it's beneficial from a scrimmage side, but there's so much more to it.
Oh, so much more. The scrimmage side is great because, you're watching a game where you have a state championship or a state champion team against a state qualifier, state participant in Marion. This is a really good game. Kennedy's got a lot of holes to fill, and, Coach Hoyer will do a good job filling them. But in terms of just the grand picture of the Strike Out the Stigma, I'm out here eating popcorn, watching Prairie play, but I'm also watching the other games, and there's colleges walking around right now.
Yeah,
they can
I
watch,
love that.
they can watch 8 baseball teams play the game. So yeah, there's a lot more to going than just, some scrimmages, like you say.
And again, a strike 2 crosses the plate here. Again, Kennedy up against Marion here. That pitch will find its way outside. Try to backdoor that one for sure. But one, I got to give props to the facility here. Every time we come here, one, you always know that this is going to be top notch. There's nothing out of place here. Obviously, the way it was constructed, and obviously everything else,
for sure,
for everything there. Perfect Game really has done a great job, and they've made it an effort here to, again, trying to highlight every single guy. You got a lot of guys that come through here.
Oh, absolutely. A ton, but it's a great venue, like you said. There's, I don't know, I would guess 500 people here watching the game. Everybody's having a good time, good food, concessions are open. But yeah, you just make it about the boys and about watching good baseball. And if that's what it's about, if you don't make it about, hey, let's make a killing or let's make it about us, it turns out to be always a good venue. Yeah. And with you coming here and really just promoting the game, baseball's a tough sport when it comes to Iowa because it is a summer sport, so basketball's during school. Yep. Football's during school. Where you have baseball, you really have to draw some crowds in here, and you've done a really good job about doing that. So, kudos to you as well for taking your nights, your Monday night and coming out here and doing this. It's a big deal for the state, for sure.
And man, it goes a long way when you put, again, an event like this, which has been, I believe, fourth year in existence.
I believe it's the fourth, yeah.
Fourth, and the fact that it's been here, that one's foul tip. It looks like I'll have to head on back to first base here. But the fact that we have this, I think, is, again, we can count on it. One, I want to say, as an asterisk, thank you, weather, for finally shaping up here for us.
No doubt.
Again, but one of the things too is beyond this, you got so many things going on. But if anybody was on the fence, as that one's in there for strike 3,
that was a great pitch.
That's kind of what we see from Kennedy quite a bit here as that draws the out. But we talked about Team Ontario coming in, and you get the international flair, and you're saying, one, and I as we get Grayson Kersh coming back up to the plate here, again, a guy who has already had an RBI under his belt, already a double under his belt as well. He steps up here, ball 1. But the fact that the guys can come in here and know that they're not just going to play against top teams in Iowa, top teams across in states around them, all across the country, but they're going to get international flair as well.
For sure.
And I say that it's, if you want the most variety of experience, Perfect Game's going to give you that.
Oh, for sure. You're going to, like you said, you're going to roll into a Team Canada, a Team Ontario team that played almost 40 games down in Florida 2 weeks before they came here. So they've been there, done it. So in order to, roll in here and play a team like that is, running out a upper 80, low 90 arm lefty that was tough to hit.
Yeah.
That's hard to beat, especially when you're in April getting ready for a high school season,
Yeah.
And the best part, Andrew, is I'm walking around watching, I'd say more kids than not that played, this spring and that saw that. And that's just crucial. I mean, ex-players they just shake their head and wish they had these opportunities, because in Iowa, we just really have never had this. And to open it up to these boys and to watch these kids now rolling into their first scrimmage, getting ready for the high school season with 40, 50 at-bats under their belt, that's crucial.
Yeah, and one of the things, it's the fact that you look at when you go throughout the season and big impactful names, there aren't very many that haven't done any spring league ball or action.
Agreed.
And as that one gets chopped out there to first, a high chopper, the
hurry.
throw,
Ooh,
as
safe.
that one almost nailed him by a step in the end, safe by that very step. And now we have runners on the corners because of it. And again, as we keep rolling along here, Andrew Brown for Iowa Baseball here. Happy to be broadcasting this. And again, we talk about a perfect game here, Travis, and everything that goes on. One, you have so many fields here that this is kind of the perfect setup to have an event like this.
It is.
And it's, just perfect. You got games going all around. You mentioned former guys come here, wish they have the chance. At this point, if you're giving out all the effort, if you're going and trying all these different things, there really isn't a ton of room as that one gets lined out there to center. Nice pickup in center, the fire in here. That's how you stop a runner from getting anywhere.
Sure. Yeah, that ball was hit too hard. Never gave the runner a chance. Jake Miller was at third, and he's as fast as they come in this
I was going to say,
yeah.
Miller is one of those that I could see, and I think Coach is talking to him right now.
Coach Fish is not a happy camper right now.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
You know better, senior.
You get picked off here. We can't afford that. But again, one of the things I love, I was talking with Jay Wannell here, is that, these are two coaches. Is that one again gets put for a ride? That will find its way down, and that will score another run here for Marion as they pick up yet another, and they continue to put up some good numbers here.
Andrew, they're tough.
Oh my gosh,
they're tough. They've got a deep bench, and they've got a lot of upperclassmen. That I tell you what, that 3A competition this summer is going to be fun to watch with Wahlert, Marion, and you've got a couple over in that Des Moines area.
Yeah,
they're tough too.
I gotta say it. And then of course you got Pella thrown in there.
Yeah, right. Pella Christian.
And like all those squads, it just makes it honestly. And Travis, so many dog on Iowa for having high school ball in the summer, and I think you overlook the talent that is here.
Without a doubt.
I think it's gotten much better. Obviously, you see guys like Tatum Gray getting, poached by Oregon.
Yeah.
And so, the teams that are actually paying attention to what Iowa's doing, they're getting really good players.
Without a doubt. And
so, honestly, I think Iowa, I want to say at first it was, the talent's getting better, but man, the talent's been here.
Yeah, it has been here. I'm not going to get in trouble when I say this, but I mean this. Rob at PBR has done a really good job as promoting these guys as well, and him and I have a very good working relationship where, yes, there's competition there, but, him and I, at the end of the day, it's all about the boys and promoting these kids for the future. So I got no problem with having competition like that is so worried about, hey, let's get these kids the looks that they deserve. That's what you want. This isn't, hey, let's make each other look bad. No, this is, let's make each other feel good about who we see move on from this level, and we can high five at the end of the day and say, you know what? We promoted these guys. We knew they were something there, and we made these colleges open their eyes to see that talent.
Yep.
So that's a good thing for the state. I mean, Rob does a great job for the state as well.
Yeah, and again, we got the chance here. That is 6 batters up. We'll make sure to change up here coming on up here. We'll head to the bottom half in just a bit. But wrapping up here, I also got to say that one thing I love that Perfect Game does, and PBR, with the fact that we're so blessed to have guys like you and Rob, is that we also open it up for the players to see, hey, you got JUCO that is arguably the best JUCO scene in any single state. Division III, we saw what was happening there. Again, you saw in Iowa baseballs. We got the chance to see. Iowa Central, have a walk-off thriller.
Yeah. I watched it last night.
And of course, we saw. I mean, there were some great plays. Kirkwood made a lot of fielding gems in that tournament as well. But gosh, you see so many teams, and you look at it and go, we should be. And I think so many guys are. You see so many guys going, you know what? It was never a downgrade, but it's not viewed as a downgrade to go to a JUCO. Especially when you know that you're going to get to step in right away, you're going to produce.
Yeah, I hope so. And, honestly, the thing that kids need to realize is that playing baseball beyond high school is a big deal. That is special. I don't care if it's D1, D2. We've talked about this last year, Andrew.
Yeah, exactly.
D3, NAIA, JUCO. If you're going to play at the next level, that's a big deal. And you should be proud of yourself because you got to work to do that, especially with the new rules now.
Yes.
I mean, there's no shoo-in as a JUCO player anymore.
No, not anymore.
No. And honestly, I mean, I hate to keep saying this to you, but when you show these commitment alerts, you blow these up on Instagram, that's a big deal because, I mean, that really makes these boys feel like they've accomplished something. So, every one of those that you put out there, I love and I like because it's an accomplishment. And I'm glad you see that. So.
Yeah. And I mean, certainly you're talking about .something% of athletes who get to move on to that next level.
Yeah.
And you take a look here, even with the University of Iowa, you've got several JUCO transfers who have made very big impacts.
With more on the way.
Yeah, with more on the way. Yeah. And it goes to show, one, I think Coach Heller does a phenomenal job of locating JUCO talent.
For sure.
Keaton Anthony, we saw out of Georgia a few years ago, and look, he's doing some stellar work.
He's killing it with the Phillies. Yeah,
absolutely love it. And so again, everybody out there, whether it's JUCO, even D3, we saw, we see what the Beavers at BVU are doing, and
it's good baseball.
It's great baseball. You look at that and go, man, there's some minor league teams who BVU and even the JUCO teams couldn't get a big running for it. Could obviously make a great game out of it.
Yeah, for sure. And Coach Heller's always had a really good knack at finding local talent. I mean, I went to Davenport West way back in the day, and Coach Heller recruited me, and I played for Coach Heller for 4 years at Upper Iowa. And I tell you what, it was some of the best times of my life because I didn't think I was ready, and he saw something in me that I did not. And him and Marty, behind the scenes with Iowa, I mean, they've done so much. And I mean, you look at that roster, it's full of Iowa kids. And that's ultimately what you want,
Yeah. I mean, wherever you go here, whether it is D1, whether it is, D3, JUCO, there's always a lot there as we get a runner on first here, a chance to get something rolling. Kennedy, as you talk about this game here a little bit, Travis, this is just a taste here. We're getting some new guys into the fold here. Again, Dawson God pitching right now. And you talk about that depth here. Man, what a heater he just threw there to get a strike. But, I mean, it seems like, honestly, these two teams, they lose guys. But, honestly, you look over at the dugouts, coaches aren't worried.
No. It's just next man up, next man up. Well, Dawson Goad, he's a 2027 kid that, has always been that kid that has the body size and everything. And he's actually just an amazing kid. I mean, he's just always got a smile on his face, but he's a fierce competitor. Well, Fish is just he's going to bring in the guys that are hungry enough to make a difference. And that's what you want. That's what you want. You have to do that at the high school level.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that here. As that pitch sails just outside, that'll draw the ball there. And again, ladies and gentlemen, give your thoughts more here as we go throughout the season. A lot of great stuff, and make sure to check out everything that you have, whether in the prep scene here in Iowa, whether it does come from Perfect Game as that one is sailed.
Missed it.
That's a major league pop up there as that falls into the glove out there in center here by Grayson Kersh, making a good play on that one. And so again, Travis, this is. When you look at the one, I want to talk on just thoughts on state tournaments here. Every year we have such great games. And of course, I myself have been at 3A for the last 4 years, 3A, 4A for the last 4 years. We get 3A, 4A here with a good battle here. Nice shot down to first. That was close. You got to. I mean, honestly, you look at there, what Marion lost. You still get back in a ton. You mentioned that depth here is huge, but again, as I bring back my train of thought here to one thing here, I know bouncing around.
You're talking about the state tournament a little bit.
That was that. Thank you for that.
You bet. I got you, Andrew. I got you.
But the state tournament baseball, absolutely love seeing it. And last year, I think it reached a new high because as that one, a shot down there, the cannon almost got him.
No, he got him.
Oh,
slid past the bag.
man.
That goes to show you right there. It's turf, and Kennedy has a grass field, so they're not used to that, and they should be because they've played out here all spring, but they forget.
And honestly, it's just the true hops you'll get here. One of the things I love about here, you're not getting anything that's gonna spin the wrong way. It's always gonna be the true hop there is. That one is that one ends up foul there. A little doinker again. Stay safe for the batter here, but one of the things state tournament wise, I love the venue. Again, last year I loved the change of venue here a little bit. I love the fact that anywhere you go, there are venues here outside of obviously the great venues we have here at Prospect Meadows. But now the chance again, you have seen a lot of state tournaments. Again, a lot of them at Principal Park here, as someone almost got it in their popcorn.
You got to keep your head.
I got it. It's on a swivel.
On a swivel.
There you go. But now the chance you get it in Sioux City 3A and 4A. And obviously, Carroll does a phenomenal job hosting 1A and 2A.
Sure.
As that one's in for the strikeout, and that will be out number 3 as we get rocking and rolling here with a brand new inning coming on up here in just a bit. As we wrap up with Travis from Perfect Game, I want to ask, how. You talk about your time in Upper Iowa, but how'd you end up here with Perfect Game? I love the backstories behind the people, the authenticity behind everything.
And baseball's a small family, whether these boys understand this or not. It's going to circle back. So I played at Upper Iowa for Coach Heller for 4 years. Played a year of independent ball after that. Came home, wasn't really ready to quit the game, started giving lessons at Perfect Game at the old Perfect Game building, over by Jeff.
Yeah.
And then was still playing at Norway and Williamsburg in the Wood Bat League. And just, baseball is a very romantic game, and it is something that's given me so many things, not just talent in terms of just playing the game, but just best friends and memories and all of the above. And the fact that I can still go out to Norway and watch good baseball and watch a train go by every 30 seconds, it means a lot to me. So that's basically how it went full circle. They asked me to take over this fall and spring leagues a few years back, and I've got a full-time job, I'm like, I'll do it. Well, after I did it, I knew I had to do it right. And it was all about the boys, and I've watched these boys come up through the years. So it's been a really smooth transition, and it's almost like I'm watching 200 of my kids now, like, hey, better than that, and a lot of these kids I still coach on a scout team and take them to Florida this fall, so baseball's a very romantic sport. And if you respect it, it'll give you a lot back.
Well, no doubt about that. Always fun. And of course, one thing is it just promotes, again, everything that Iowa has.
Agreed.
And, there's so much love to hear.
So much good baseball in this state.
I mean, you got to love it here. But, Travis, again, as that one is in there for strike 3 off of a good bender there.
Yeah, it was. That was a good slider. But, hey, always a pleasure, Andrew. I appreciate you coming out here and supporting the boys. So,
well, always. Hey, thanks again, Travis.
You bet, bud.
Again, thanks to everybody from Perfect Game here as we continue to rock it off. I will say that we always got to make sure that no matter what you do, get out there, play the game, have fun with it, as we have fun here as we continue on here. And again, up here, we have Jaron Griffith up at the plate, taking a look at ball one to start his experience here. But again, thanks to Travis for getting the time to talk with us. And again, more ways that you can jump in. Again, whether it is connecting with us right here, as that one gets sailed out there and bounces nicely out there into right field. That will get him, Griffith, on his way to second. He'll slide in there easy for the second, or what was a single turned into a double bagger. And so we got a runner in scoring position yet again for Marion, who, by the way, I will just say that they are. Obviously, we talked with Jay, we talked with Travis. Obviously, they know their stuff very well. And honestly, you look at the 3A rankings, which just were released today. I'm thinking maybe there was a little too low in the rankings as Bryson Oberbreckling coming on up to the plate. He got a chance to reach onto the base pass via walk earlier in this game. So again, runner on second base here as we get ready and rock. And appreciate you giving me a little leeway here as we have a lot of, again, when it's a one-man band going through, as that one gets knocked away and a runner taken off to third. Ended up being a wild pitch here, but Griffith, good job, good head on his shoulders to keep himself very aware there. But again, really appreciate all the support here for IA Baseball, and not just IA Baseball, but really anywhere you go, IA Sports. Really appreciate all the love and support there. As again, next pitch here is swung on, a healthy hack, but comes up empty. Oberbreckling looking at another strike onto the mix here. But again, it's been very fun to do all these things as that one gets away from him just a little bit, but squeaks away not too far, keeping it there. And it's always fun to be able to do this, so appreciate all the support and all the thoughts and comments, whether they're good or bad comments, or positive or not positive comments. We want to hear them, all right? Go ahead and give us your thoughts. We love everything you want to go ahead and try and dish at us because it's all in good fun in the long run. So again, appreciate everybody reaching out here. Next pitch, that one sailed back as that'll bring it up to a 2-strike count here. Now brings full. Yeah, with a runner on third here, a chance for Marion to add on to their already impressive lead here. Kennedy and Marion, both teams that have a lot of depth that will be entering this season. And that's what, however you want to dish it out, however you want to take a look at it, in the end, it is a phenomenal, I should say, as that one draws ball forward for the walk. It's a phenomenal atmosphere. Baseball always brings a lot of fun. And again, I will claim this till the day I die, that baseball is the greatest show on dirt or turf. Now, as we got to make that distinction out, turf right here as we continue on. But again, runners on the corners. And this is kind of as that one gets shot up high, I got to pause at that one because that one is high, will barely breach the outfield as that will go in for the out number 2. So again, as we continue to rock, back to the top of the order we go. And Jake Miller, one of the speediest guys you'll ever see on the field, whether it's on the baseline or, of course, in the field itself. Great, phenomenal athlete. And Coach Fish, he's already a legendary coach as it is. He gets guys like this, and it just adds to the mix of a dominant program here as that goes for ball 1. But again, as we look here, man, you kind of look at it and say, man, a lot of these guys may not have as much experience under their belts, but as that is a nice pitch, runner taken off to second, we'll get there in ease, as now we have 2 runners in scoring position now. But again, both of these programs, again, Marion included, they just got depth, and year after year, you see it. Marion with 20-plus wins since the 08-09 season. That one's chopped out there to second. A nice pick up to first, and a good fire will end the threat here for Marion. Good defense here by Kennedy. They thwart what would have been a big inning here. And so in the end, with a bases near juice situation here, Kennedy gets out of the jam and a chance for us to take a break here, as we will have a new pitcher onto the mound in Carson Frommelt another one of those heritage names, the last names that we talk about. So again, a chance for you to catch up on more when we come back here. It is Strike Out the Stigma event from Prospect Meadows here in Marion. I appreciate you following along for the ride, and we'll be back after this.
I remember personally when I was young watching the guys that were playing sports, basketball, football, wrestling, whatever it was, when they were in high school and just thinking, I mean, how great they were and just wanting to be like them when I was older. So yeah, we are definitely always role models for those younger kids, those middle schoolers.
I love doing it. We go to all the state events, we work at all the state events, and you know, you wear your polo and people stop and talk to you, and it's just really great to connect with kids from other schools who are on the board, and then coaches, athletic directors who will see you at the events will stop and talk to you, and it's really neat.
You feel a bit of a weight and you're a voice for all athletes in the state of Iowa, which is cool.
I think it's really cool. I remember reading the email and I'm like, oh, this would be something really cool to look for. It'd be good to talk to people that I want to get to talk to around the state. I get to see other people's opinions, kids from 5A schools, kids from small schools. I think it'll just be a really good opportunity for me. IHSAA represents so much that it's really cool that they have 2 girls on the board to bring a girl's perspective, because I think it's really important to be very diverse and get different opinions.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back here as we continue on and continue rocking here. Again, Andrew Brown, Jay Wannell joining me back here as we get rocking and continue to have a good time here. Jay, one thing I talked to Travis about, and you and I talked about it as well here, is the depth of both of these teams. I think Marion showcasing it very well here. Both teams showing it pretty well for the most part, but you know, honestly, as you look here, Marion, you know, I don't think anybody's sleeping on them, but holy cow, they lost a good crop of guys last year, but in the end, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah, you're right. They they lost some really good players, and they got some really good young guys, and you know, a whole lot of juniors. That junior class is really good. So they got that chuck full of good players out there. And then, you know, Grayson and Jake, both seniors. 2 kids like that can really lead a team to a whole lot of victories. So it'll really be exciting for them this year, and for us to follow them and you know, see them make a run at the state championship.
Absolutely know that. We'll love to see that. That one gets ripped out there into left field. A 2 bouncer off there to the left fielder as we, again, up and rolling, a base runner already to start.
No doubt. Good piece of hitting there from Ty. Good to see him hit a ball hard. So runner on first here, 1 out. Maybe Kennedy can get something going here, scratch a few hits together.
No doubt about that. Again, with 1 runner on, this has been again scrimmage, but still you got you know, Kennedy has been knocking at the door. That one gets fouled out. They've been close.
Yeah.
You know, they've had 3-4 instances with runners in scoring position and a chance to get there. But you got to give credit to Marion and what they're able to do here, because even from their starters to the depth, we're seeing a lot of great pitching, but almost as good fielding.
Yeah, that's right. this is kind of their 1-2 punch right here with Ty and Colton Durling. So, who knows? Ty's obviously a steel guy, but maybe they try and get something going, maybe hit and run or something like that. But it'll be fun to watch these two, kind of lead this lineup.
The pitch, and that one is struck, and that will be into the outfield grass. Nicely done. Station to station baseball isn't a bad thing as long as you can, again, put something together, probably a big hit later on.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's going to kind of fall on these next few guys here because, those two guys are going to be on base any number of different ways. So, Deacon here and Jacob Doyle next, and some of those guys are going to be called on to fill some big shoes.
Well, no doubt. It is the bottom of inning number 6 here as we got an out, and we got more coming up here as that one is shot. The runner taken off to third, and that is not going to be.
Drop the ball. Good jump. Ty had him timed up nicely, and good jump, good throw, too. That would have been a little bit interesting to see if he'd held on to it, what the call might have been, but. And Colton Durling, good job of base running, following him on the backside there. So second and third here, some situational hitting, and he does the job.
Hard ground ball out there to first will get the job done. Runner does come on home, and hey, we get Kennedy on the board here in this one.
Yeah, that's good baseball right there. Good situational hitting from Deacon, and another runner at third, and you got one out still, right?
Well. That one, I believe, would be 2 outs.
Oh, that's the second out. Oh, yeah. We started with a strikeout. Yeah, strikeout.
That one almost put another runner across the board. But
pass ball.
As that one gets shot high, and that one gets drifting.
Nice catch by Jake Miller.
Nice catch out there. Miller has, I want to say, good kinesthetic awareness. He knows every bit of where he is, and he could be spinning around doing that bat spin. He'd still be able to make that catch.
Yeah, he's a heck of a good player, that's for sure.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we have more coming on up here. We have completed inning number 6. Inning number 7 coming on up when we return. We'll have a new pitcher and everything right after this here on the IA Baseball Network.
I love doing it. We go to all the state events. We work at all the state events, and you wear your polo and people stop and talk to you, and it's just really great to connect with kids from other schools who are on the board, and then coaches, athletic directors who will see you at the events will stop and talk to you, and it's really neat.
You feel a bit of a weight and you're a voice for all athletes in the state of Iowa, which is cool.
I think it's really cool. I remember reading the email and I'm like, oh, this would be something really cool to look for. It'd be good to talk to people that I want to get to talk to around the state. I get to see other people's opinions, kids from 5A schools, kids from small schools. I think it'll just be a really good opportunity for me. IHSAA represents so much that it's really cool that they have 2 girls on the board to bring a girl's perspective, because I think it's really important to be very diverse and get different opinions.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is a 6-2 ball game. Marion up over Kennedy here as we continue to rock on. Inning number 7 is underway here. And again, the Strikeout the Stigma event from Prospect Meadows in Marion, Iowa. That one, a nice 2-seamer looked like bit back in. That's pretty good here as we have Max Heinrich. Excuse me if I'm saying that right. Heinrichi. Making sure that, again, pronunciation up on cue there. But again, as Max steps up to the plate here, gets, I believe, his first chance here in this one. a chance to go ahead and again show what we got here at Strikeout the Stigma event. As always, it's a great time. So if you're around the area, I urge you to check it out, as that one will sail high for a ball as we continue again. Start inning number 7. So again, a nine inning affair, as we have again roughly 6 batters per side. As that one shot out there to the left side, that is nicely done, just out of the outstretched hands there at third. And again, that's kind of where Marion has lived. It's a seeing eye single, seeing eye double. I mean, no matter what, they find them where they ain't.
Yep, they have.
All right, and as we continue on, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, please give a like, shout out, spread the word. A lot of things that we have fun doing here, and we want to make sure it's as great of an experience for you. So make sure to check us out. Hit us up at iabaseball1@gmail.com, as that shot over there to first almost gets him, but keeps him honest at the very least here.
That's right. Speaking of giveaways, did Travis give away anything? Does he have PG hats or?
Oh, I mean, you know what? Maybe we got to bring him back up here again.
There's all kinds of boxes of stuff up here.
I mean, yeah,
shirts.
We got jerseys.
Yeah.
We got tons of things. I mean,
you shouldn't have let him get out of here without.
I shouldn't have. You know what, Jay? It's on me. You know, bad job on me there.
He didn't bring any food.
You know what? We really do for the season opener. We really should get some food up there.
I know.
Hit up Dino and you get rocking their log cabin. Absolutely stellar food. Great people too.
They absolutely are.
I mean, one of the things that really drew us to connecting with the Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse is, it is something that you can already tell the experience there is great. And if someone like Dino's running that, you're in for a good run. I mean, it is truly a fun time and a great experience. And again, check out the Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse.
He could serve the worst burger from McDonald's. And you'd think it was the best thing you'd ever gotten just because it was from him. So
that one
when
gets by.
When it's his steaks, and oh my goodness.
Oh my God. They're legendary.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't ask for anything better.
No.
And it's just truly, that place is as booked as possible, as much as possible. But I urge you to, get in there. It is dining at its best. Check him out today in Galena, as that one gets shot up, and that will not breach the outfield. That will come down into the glove there at third, and we will continue on again as we record another out here. But man, this is starting to be, despite the score, it's just a continual game with, I hope every game is showing this, but depth, and more depth.
Yep, that's exactly right.
So again, with a runner on second base, trying to advance, add to their 6 runs already here in this one. Up to bat right now, number 20, Cooper McLaughlin up and getting his first shot at this. And, guys, again, we're starting to see, one of the things I love about this is just new guys, new names that we haven't quite seen before. As that one is swung on there, strike 2, runner getting around there to third. And nicely done there is another runner in scoring position, which we have seen in every inning, or almost every inning, aside from last inning here for Marion.
Yep, they definitely have. They've put a lot of pressure on the defense tonight.
So 0-2 the count here. Runner on third. A chance for an already impressive game already here against Scrimmage, but still a lot to be impressed about here. As takes another fire there. That one falls its way outside of the zone. Easy to lay off. 1-2 the count. So runner on third. Nobody else on here. That one gets shot up high. That one is out there drifting. And that is out of the park, but not in the way that he would have wanted to. That's for sure. As that will find its way out, and we'll add another, so we'll keep it at a 2-strike count, I should say. Still 1-2 the count here. Now, in this, I know that this is a little different here. You got guys, Jay, coming in that may not get as much playing time throughout the course of this year, which, again, it's great for them to get action here especially in a setting like this. As that one is strung on for strike, and that will be out number 2.
Yeah, 2 outs there, and I was just trying to see the number here that's hitting.
We got
This
number
is Silas,
27.
yeah,
Silas
Junior, another junior. We talk about these juniors.
Yeah,
My gosh,
they're all over the
Yeah.
place here, Jay. That one's wisely laid off as that one tails out of the strike zone here. 1-0 the count.
9 juniors on the Marion roster.
So what you're saying is, especially the next year after this, there will still be a lot of. I mean, we're going to see a potential state tournament team 2 years in a row.
Yeah, that's
3 years in a row.
Yeah, for sure.
And one of the things that really is neat about this is, I mean, obviously a great home field, but this is a team that won a lot of road games last year, which is hard to say. I mean, honestly, both of these teams won some good road games last year, and when you dial it in, that's as difficult to do, especially with the schedules that they possess.
Yep, you're exactly right. You know, some of that though comes back to the scouting reports and the things that probably a lot of the assistant coaches do, and we'd be remiss to not talk about the great assistant coaches. That both teams have. Tom Houck out there coaching first for Marion, and Ethan Divis, Jake Nauman. Ethan Divis was the assistant coach of the year in 4A for Kennedy. So it's all about a great staff. Like you say, the team's going on the road. You got to be prepared to play in those tough environments, and it's an entire staff. So we got to give some love to all those guys as well.
Yeah, so error on Kennedy ends up, and actually they did get him out. They appealed it in the end, and they didn't.
Just a runner for
all
him.
right.
Yeah.
I was wondering. I didn't think there was an out, but in the end,
you saw Coach go to the headset.
That's an
He motioned for us up here. He wanted you to rewind the video.
Oh yeah, that's right. Is that one that gets shot up high? Another one that goes high, and the skyrocket into the air. Major League pop-up comes down in that glove for out number 3. But not before another run crosses here for Marion as they pick up another 7-2 advantage for them as we head into another bottom inning of inning number 7 coming on up. And when we come back, we'll have that and more, talking about some new updates and a couple cool things to keep in mind. So again, we will make sure Ben will get your question answered coming on up here after the break here on the IA Baseball Network.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is, Strike Out the Stigma event from Prospect Meadows, Marion, Iowa. Boy, it's always a fun time here. Jay Wannell with me of Dugout Sports. And Jay is we'll get to, we'll talk a little bit here more. I cannot go without talking about the great stuff that you do at Dugout Sports. But first, Ben asked, where can I see school rankings for baseball? Ben, I urge you to check out our social media presence on Instagram or X. We make sure, in fact, today we have just released all of those. A chance for you to catch up on those. Plus, head to rockfin.com/IABaseball. A lot of free content there you'll be able to catch up on, not only just team rankings, individual and beyond. So make sure to check out those when you get the chance. Again, rockfin.com/IABaseball. And again, any way that you want to give us a contact or shout out, head on us to ibaseball1@gmail.com, as that one dials in for strike number one. And Jay, I got to ask here, first and foremost here, talking about as that one gets sent for a ride, but that will be foul ball. But anyway, I gotta give a shout out here to Dugout Sports, which you have masterfully made into arguably one of the best facilities, best atmospheres, I should say, of baseball in the area, if not the state, as that one sails up high for a ball. But again, giving a shout out here to Dugout Sports because. Man, I don't know. Maybe it's maybe you have some secret sauce. I don't know what it is, man. But as that one gets laced out there into left field, nicely done there. As that picks up a base hit here, and Kennedy's starting to go late here as we get a runner on. But giving a shout out to what you guys do. You guys do a phenomenal job when it comes to all things baseball there at Dugout Sports.
I appreciate that, Andrew. It takes a whole lot of people, and I think every time we talk about this, I always talk about the group of guys that I have and ladies that are there giving instruction, and they're at the forefront of the whole thing. And I think that's kind of what makes us different. Is I do feel like our instructors are the best. We've got former pro baseball players, softball players, and those are the type of people that I want around the facility, around the young people, and just trying to continue to grow the game, and hopefully we're doing a good job of that. And I mean, this is like you said earlier, we got 8 teams out here, and it's really fun for me because I get to see all these kids, throughout the winter, and then now it's kind of time for them to shine, and exciting. For me to be able to see all the hard work that they've put in, and a lot of these kids that are going on to college, they've all spent a whole lot of time at Dugout, and the colleges and all those different accolades are kind of part of the grind that nobody gets to see, all the hard work, all the late nights, and all that stuff. The decisions that they make to train versus go do whatever other high school kids are doing, playing video games or whatever. That young man right there is the perfect example. Brady smoked that ball right there to left. So.
Yeah, and it just unfortunately came down into the glove there. But
play. Yeah,
that was an atom ball.
Yeah, it was.
Just like a kid. As we continue to rock and roll here again, Jay, one of the things too is you mentioned, I truly believe you have some of the best guys. That one is a nice slider, which dipped in there for an inside strike. But I mean, you got guys like Tyler Cropley, who's been there before, guys that have played at the highest level, have done all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it just adds a lot of legitimacy has already been there, but man, it's just, when you got guys like that training, you got professional athletes training there all the time.
Yeah. I mean, those are the people that, you want teaching the game. They've been to the highest level. Cal Alger pitched in the big leagues for 12 years. Big league pitching coach. He's got more information than any of us, do or know. And, just to continue to be able to learn and grow with his son, CJ. I mean, I can go on and on. Josh Sheffert played at Nebraska, played professionally, coached in college. Josh does everything at the facility, whether it's pitching and hitting. And, so it's really fun with the group of guys, and we've got a handful of great softball people that that Amber Pfizer is now coaching in college. When she's back, she's coming back and doing camps, and Maya Dodge just graduated from Mizzou, and so it's fun to see both the baseball and softball. Obviously, I've probably fall more on the baseball side just because that's my forte, or what's most familiar to me, but the softball athletes in and out of the place that Aaron Van Scoy hits with are absolutely incredible. And I would say some of the best softball players, that have come out of this area, in the last few years. So on both sides of, baseball and softball, we've been very, very lucky.
Yeah, and, again, just a fantastic atmosphere. I urge everybody, if they're even not around the area, make sure to check it out. But if someone does want to check it out here, Jay, where's the best way to contact them? How do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, just our Instagram or email, dugoutsportsfairfax at Gmail. We're on X, whatever you call it now, not Twitter, X, Facebook, all those social channels. We have a couple people that do pretty good at throwing some content out and try and share a lot of stuff. And people that come to the dugout, we try and share their stuff and help promote them, as much as possible. If somebody sees a video, our throwing program that we do, we've continued to adapt and grow CJ and Cal and Kepros PT, and we've started incorporating bullpens in with that, and we've shot out a lot of videos, and if one person sees it of some young man that's in the program, and that person is able to recruit them or whatever, we've done our job, and social media is a huge avenue right now for that, with coaches having limited time that they can get out and recruit. They can always follow us on social media, and they do a little bit of recruiting and writing those names down. When the time does come, they can contact them. So one young lady actually committed to Oregon a month or so ago, Elise DeWitt. So it's been fun working with her and a lot of our Friday Fielder stuff. So
that one dials in there too far inside ball 3, but yeah, so many ways to improve yourself. I think if you're really serious about baseball and softball at this point in the game, with what we have here with like Perfect Game, of course, PBR as well, Dugout Sports, I don't think there's really an excuse not to be excelling at your highest level at this point. Just with so many things that are there, in the end, you got to put in the work. As that one's too far inside, that makes it ball 4, and now drawing a walk to load it up. But yeah, there's really, at this point, I'm not trying to be necessarily mean when saying this, but I mean, you have only yourself to blame if you're not reaching your highest potential.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, there's plenty of resources, and it does come down to time management and the commitment that you're going to make. And baseball and softball are really, really hard. And, it's not something you just, I'm going to pick my glove and bat up in May and hope I have a good season. So,
yeah, no doubt about that. A lot of work is done when nobody's watching. And so, again, make sure to put in all that work you can. It does pay off in the long run, as the 1-0 will find its way too far inside. Hit by pitch will now bring home the 3rd run of the game here for Kennedy as they continue to get back in this one. Again, it is just scrimmage action only. And again, up pitching was number 29, Jackson Renderneck.
One of the 9 juniors on the roster.
And man, that is also a name I've seen again in the area quite a lot here. And again, one of the things I absolutely love, and again, I know we're partial here, Jay, but when you have baseball lineage in schools like this, I mean, it just you get a lot of fun with it. I mean, whether it's whether it's the Scott lineage, Goodrich, also Kersh, stemming down the line, of course, Ray as well now, and Frommelt. You got to give a shout out to Frommelt, which, by the way, really a shout out to Florida International, who continue to swipe up some Iowa guys there as well. So had another Florida International commit here in Doshot currently with Ellsworth, but he is an area guy that got the chance and kind of took it. And now he's with several guys from in the Marion area.
Yeah, Logan. Logan Rundy from Dubuque.
I love him.
Big O, Owen Puck, Marion. You were talking about the state championship earlier. Owen was on that team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's neat to follow him, and I think that's, you were talking about Dugout earlier. I think that's part of the cool thing about it is, you see those kids when they're sophomores in high school, and now you see, Owen, for example, throwing 95 at FIU, and so it's pretty cool to see the growth of all of them throughout the years.
And no doubt, and that, I mean, that's one where for me getting into this, being year 4 with I baseball here, finally getting to see that happen. But again, you've seen it for again much longer than I have. But when you reach your fullest potential, when you hit that mark, and I mean, gosh, you get to see the hard work put in, and it's really kind of I you've already talked about, as I believe, Lincoln Grimm onto the mound here to pitch. But you guys, you've always talked to me about it. You never do it for any glory yourself or any money. I often have to pry a lot of it out of you here, Jay. But you have always been. It's always for them. It's never for you. And it's got to feel really good when you get to see these guys not only go on to get college, but like Tyler Cropley's of the world, get on to the professional stage, and you are there for a lot of them.
Yeah,
you got to be there when he got his first hit, and I talked to him as that one is on a 2-hopper out there to first. Nice play out there as we regain our camera angle here.
He didn't get over in time and
not enough.
Beat it out. We'll roll the inning here. Good inning there for Kennedy.
Kennedy continues to add on one more to the mix, and we remain at a bases loaded mark, but it looks like we are going to head and we're going to take to the next half inning here, which again, as we continue to roll on, will be inning number 8. But as we wrap up here again, a lot of fun in this, and a lot of it, when you get to put in the hard work in the off season, it just makes the season seem a lot easier. It seems like guys are just breathing easier, chest easier, not as much weight lifted off. And again, a lot of what you see is them putting in the work when they do get a little nervous.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You'd mentioned Tyler Cropley, and that's one of the coolest stories. He's, in the off season, he's given lessons, and we're doing all kinds of different things at the facility, and being able to be in Kansas City for, the major league debut, the hit, the RBI. Those are things that I'll never forget. My youngest son was with me. He'll never forget. So you're exactly right, though. I mean, you see the work that he's done throughout his career, and being able to make it to the big leagues is unbelievable.
And now Iowa fans get the chance to have him back again.
That's exactly right. They're spoiled.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, speak about Iowa here. What a run they have had this year. Ran to a little bit of buzzsaw with Oregon State here this last season, but excuse me, there is, as we have a little bit of meeting on the mound or meeting at home plate there.
I think they're probably just deciding how much longer we want to play here.
Again, you and I, Jay, could say all day, every day, let's make it happen until the cows come home.
That's 1,600 wins right there. They're trying to decide how much longer we want to go. We can go all night.
Oh, man. And certainly we would absolutely, we'd sit here all night. 2 a.m. baseball is not a bad thing. That one gets sailed out there as, again, we start a new inning here, top half of inning number 8. But, again, as we continue on, this is Strike Out the Stigma event live here from Prospect Meadows. And, again, a gorgeous facility. I mean, if you're a baseball fanatic, that one is a 1-hopper out there to second, a nice throw out there.
He made that close.
That was as close as you can get on what seemed to be quote unquote routine, but that's why you should never take it easy when you're in the field.
That's exactly right.
But again, Strike Out the Stigma. Make sure to check out Strike Out the Stigma, not just now, but I mean, anytime, guys. Right now is obviously the big event, but what they do goes far beyond just today, but others. And again, you've been able to see that around here, but I, for one, am loving the fact that even in Central Iowa, we start to see a little bit more of the Strike Out the Stigma shirts, and
get the shirt on.
I had to rep it.
Absolutely.
I'm part of the gig too.
Yeah,
I do my part.
Yeah,
but
Nikki Freeze does. She does a fantastic job, and she's got a great team of help with her. Yeah, it's a really cool event. I was actually, it's funny, when I was walking in, I saw Nikki's husband and was talking to Nate just really quick. And we were talking just yesterday, I was talking to some of their family, and I said to Nate, their son, Maddox, I played in the high school state tournament twice. Played in an American Legion World Series out in North Carolina.
Yep.
Played in the College World Series at Southeastern. We'll probably play in the College World Series again this year for Southeastern. They'll probably get that at-large bid to go to the World Series. So, and he's part of the Strikeout the Stigma. So he's got a pretty sweet baseball resume already, and going to Iowa next year. So hopefully another World Series for him in the next 2 years. I think that would make Coach Cropley very happy.
It would definitely make Coach Cropley happy, as that one for ball 4 heads too far outside, and that will send a free runner on to the base pass here for Marion. Again, as we continue on here, again, top half, inning number 8, 7-4 our score here. And again, always appreciate you coming along for the ride. Again, we will have our kickoff, our season kickoff, Wallert taking on Xavier. That one nearly takes his head off there. That's called the headhunter there in a sense. But you get a runner heading on over to second. So again, another runner in scoring position. All but one inning, Marion has had a runner in scoring position. That's been, again, the thing about that makes it amazing here, Jay, is you look at that and go, oh, okay, so a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's another Marion game, another ball hitting the gap. That's going to be another run. That's Bryson Oberbrockling, and he's going to stop at second with a double. But good piece of hitting there, going the other way.
And he kind of got a little.
Yeah, you were talking about Marion earlier in their conference, and I mean, they're Benton community. Man, they've got all kinds of older kids. The age comes into it, and I'd be remiss if we didn't discuss Independence a little bit. New head coach.
Oh, yeah.
My former college head coach, Joel Holst, is there. So, they're going to play the game hard and do all those things that he's done for 30 years in college baseball. And, they'll be tough, but the WAMAC they'll definitely be a good conference.
When you talk about Independence too, they had some really good numbers with RBIs, with strikeout to walk ratio. One of the best ones in the conference. Yeah. I think it was just a little inexperience that may have did them in over last year, but so much to like about it. And this is a team not too far removed from making the state tournament themselves.
What was it, 3 or 4 years ago? Both the Beatty boys were there.
It was a fun there. It was a fun atmosphere. And again, it's just they had so much good pitching at that point. And again, it's really grassroots how they do it, and they do a phenomenal job. They had a great story, guys that knew that, hey, maybe I'm not going on to college ball in the next year. But they get a chance to, they do so much more, and they just give it their all, knowing that maybe they're not going to be at that next level, but they're still going to act and play as though they are, and they're going to give it all they got. And that's what we saw from Independence that year. And we've seen that from West Delaware as well.
Yeah.
And,
we should probably get up to that ball smoked.
That one's going.
Short hops
the wall. Short hops the wall.
Another double. Back-to-back doubles for Marion. Goodness, they're swinging it tonight.
Man, Jay, I was getting ready to say my first home run call.
You need to practice it.
I do. I do.
Maybe. Hey, we're back to the top of the lineup here. You got Miller and Scott and Kersh. I mean, you still got time here.
Oh, good. I got to get my Santa Maria. I got to get all that in. I got to emulate here.
But I was saying maybe we should get up to Independence. I don't know if you've been there or not. They've now turfed the whole entire field. They used to have just the infield, grass outfield, similar to what they have here. It's now all turf. So they do have a beautiful facility. A lot of former college players that kind of back in that area from that area. So that's definitely a sleeper, if you want to call him a sleeper in the WAMAC. He's going to be safe at first. The kid does that all the time. If you remember from the state tournament, Jake Miller, when he was hurt, oblique or side or whatever it was, he couldn't swing, and told everybody in the ballpark he was going to drag bunt, and he did it and beat it out. Yeah.
I mean, he is one of those few, and again, it's talent that is just, there's talent galore there,
Yeah.
but he is truly one of those that calls it out. I remember looking at it, I listened to the broadcast, and as that one gets by, runner taking off to second, we all knew that was going to happen.
Just put him over there.
No one in this state right now is confused or surprised by that happening for sure, but it's just one of that's part of what made the state tournament so great is, yes, you had a guy that just really couldn't do much. And Coach Fish talked about it. He wanted to so bad. He was willing to risk a lot just to be out there to swing the bat for the guys.
Yeah.
And Coach Fish mentioned, having to rein him in and forcibly rein him in.
Yep,
But
that's exactly right. He's a gamer. There's
Oh my
no
gosh.
doubt about it. You look that up, and you're gonna find Jake Miller, and fun to watch him. Those are the types of high school baseball players that you want to go watch, and he's going to play, beyond high school, and it'll be fun to follow his career as he goes on to Southeastern next year, and he's a perfect kid for Southeastern. He's just a winner.
Oh, and I absolutely love the coaching staff they have there.
Yes. They actually were just at the dugout. What day? Thursday. They were there on their way over to Carroll. So,
and again, ladies and gentlemen, here as we go ahead and we will cut to a new inning here, or a new half inning coming on up here in just a bit here. But first, before we get to the bottom half of inning number 8, want to just remind you, make sure to head out to strikeoutthestigmaiowa.com, and plenty of chances for you to still get involved and get help where you need it. I mean, certainly you don't have to come out here to the facility necessarily, but a chance for you to go out, strike out the Stigma Iowa, get the help you need, or get someone the help they need, because you never quite know. One of the things that as athletes, we always try and put on the persona that, nothing's wrong, we're strong, and we're going to just push through it. But never once should you ever try and push through something like your mental health. It truly, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you can't be there mentally for yourself, physically, it's going to be hard to do that as well.
Yep, you're exactly right. It's great to bring it to the forefront, talk about it, and make things okay. That's right.
Yeah, and one of the things too here, Jay, is you have been a big advocate of making sure that you're in a good headspace even before even before we talked about the Strike Out the Stigma event. And you've been there from the playing days and coaching as well. There's a lot of stress put on baseball players.
There is.
Arguably the hardest thing to do is hit a round ball with a round bat. Physics doesn't necessarily allow you to be that. You still fail. A good hitter is still failing 7 out of 10 times.
That's exactly right. Foul ball up here. We almost caught that one.
I could have had 2 free baseballs by now.
That's exactly right. Andrew, I might get a little nervous with the young man on deck. I'm not gonna lie. That's my son. Oh boy.
Hey.
All right.
All
right, Andrew.
What's better than having a conversation? Is that one is laced out there and nice play.
Oh boy.
Nicely done here.
He's gonna make us all proud here.
All right, here we go. Connor getting the chance to come up here. Connor Wannell getting the jump on it now. How often do you get this, ladies and gentlemen?
That's pretty awesome.
A chance to call your son's game a little bit, and not only that, but him at the plate as he takes a look at ball 1. Again, I think
let's go, bud.
Good genes here in the works.
Oh, that's fun.
And the 1-0 count, that one, he takes that one, and that one ends in there for ball 2. 2-0 now the count.
Well, this is fun. He found out last week that he had gotten moved up to varsity, and so he's going to play a little varsity, play a little sophomore too. So exciting for him, just being a freshman and being able to be around the older guys and the great coaches like I mentioned earlier. So this is fun. Oh man, swing the bat, bud. 4-pitch walk. Oh, all right. Okay.
You'll take it, right? You still got on base pass.
I'll take it. We'll take it.
He'll hit the home run next at bat.
Yeah. I'm not so nervous anymore, I guess. Well, as long as he doesn't get picked off or something stupid here.
Well, let's hope not, as that one also tails over ball one.
Oh man.
You know, hey, we're young, young kids,
I was fine, and now all of a sudden I'm sweating, Andrew. Man.
Oh man, that just adds to the atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sheesh. Oh man.
He'd probably never get another at bat if he got picked off right there.
Not only coach would be down on the, you would too.
Yeah, that's exactly. I don't know who's feeding him dinner.
Mom better help out here.
Somebody.
As that one is in for a ball here, 2-3-0, and oh gosh, what adds to it here too is, again, not only great event, but again, love that, again, continual lineage here as we continue to roll on again from the Strikeout the Stigma event here at Prospect Meadows. And the pitch, that one will sail too far outside here, and 2 4-pitch walks as runners in now at second and first as we continue on again up on the mound. As we get another pitch hitter going here for Kennedy, with a runner on first, a runner on second. Lincoln Grimm still pitching here for the Marion Wolves. Again, they've been the Marion Wolves for now, what, 4 years now?
It still doesn't quite seem right or sound right, or you get so used to it being one way, and then all of a sudden they change something like that on you, and it takes a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah. I've also caught myself saying the wrong things a few times. Baseball's a tradition-rich sport, and we're used to the names and the traditions of that. And as that one dialed in there for the strike. So again, runners on first and second here. Again, roughly six batters per team per inning. As we continue on here, that one gets
smoked into the dugout almost.
Wow.
That's, look out, coach.
I mean, you were almost golfing it in there.
Man. That's why the umpires are on them to stay in the dugout.
Yeah,
right there.
You got to stay in the dugout. I mean, sometimes even the dugout isn't safe. And that one foul tip into the glove.
Strike 3. All right, 2 down here.
2 down here, and we continue to roll. Coming on.
And this has got to
here.
be the last half here, isn't it? Don't you suppose?
It
looks like some of the other games. We might be the last game going.
You know what?
We picked the right game.
I knew it was the right game,
longest.
Jay. There you go.
Absolutely.
As that one sails up high, we get runners advancing now.
All right, second and third here. Don't do anything dumb at third. Make the last out over there.
We're pinpointing third here.
I'm sorry, but that's just.
We're going to pinpoint third, and that's crucial.
Yeah. Nolan Graw's dad just texted me a minute ago. It's much easier to coach than to watch as a parent. He's 1,000% right. I would much rather be coaching than as a parent back here watching. It makes you so nervous. Gosh.
That one's too far, too low for ball one. But you know what, Jay? when I get to that point of
you'll get there.
When I get there, I'll have to call you up.
You'll get there.
Jay, how do I do this?
Yep. I don't know that there's a playbook or man. Oh man.
Yeah, I will say here, I'm not afraid to admit this just a little bit, but my oldest has come a long way, but I did have him steal third. He crawled, T-ball. He did so. He stole third by crawling.
That's awesome.
So I do have that under my belt.
Awesome. There you go. First stolen base.
Hey, that was the only stolen base the team had that year, and you know what? I'm glad that we're in the history books.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So as we continue to rock again, this is Strikeout the Stigma event from Prospect Meadows here in Marion. That one gets away, and runner coming on home. We'll have another score here for Kennedy as they will put one more run up on the board.
And that's going to end it.
And
Good job, Connor.
We'll do it. Hey, you know what? You can give him a big high five. He gets a chicken dinner here tonight. He scored the last run of the game, and that's how we will wrap up our time here in the scrimmage from Prospect Meadows. This has been Marion taking on Kennedy in a really fun scrimmage and a great way to
awesome.
officially kick off our season.
Yeah, no doubt. What a fun event, and always appreciate you coming out and all the coverage that IA Baseball, gives to all of the schools. But we really appreciate it over here on this side of the state. And it's going to be an exciting season. Obviously, two great teams here that we talked about. And, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun 2025.
Oh, no doubt about that. And again, make sure to catch up. We will be in Dubuque come a week from now.
That's right.
And
Dino, I know you're listening.
Yep.
Medium, please. Baked potato with just butter, please.
Can I get bacon bits on mine? Those things. I mean,
man.
I would love some green beans. Mashed potatoes, all the sides. Would be great.
We got to try them all out.
It would be wonderful if we have a background of buffet. And we cut to just us.
They
here.
do that on. Monday,
tonight,
Sunday night,
right,
football, Monday, Thursday, whatever. They're always bringing them food to try.
We don't have a Thanksgiving edition in the summer. Let's make it now. Why not do that? And
awesome.
You make it a steak dinner, and then I'm all on board.
That's right.
All right. Dino, hey, we're calling for it. Let's make it happen. But again, for Jay Whale and myself, Andrew Brown. Again, Jay, thanks again for taking the time here. Again, we'll look to potentially get you back on as we have kick off the season on Monday, next Monday, a week from today. Waller taking on Xavier, always a classic, great matchup here in the state of Iowa. But any other matchups, ladies and gentlemen, let us know. We want to hear what big games should we go to. Not just myself and the broadcast team, but also get us out there for photos, video. Hit us up, iabaseball1@gmail.com. We would love to connect with you as well. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap up our time here again for Jay Wendell and myself, Andrew Brown. Thanks again, as well as Gabe Rummel and, of course, Travis from Perfect Game. Thanks, everybody, for making this a part. Nikki Freese and company, you do a fantastic job. This has been Strike Out the Stigma event, and we can't be any happier that we've been here each and every year. So for that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to sign off and say sayonara here for the last time in this one here. Again, check us out next Monday. We'll have the season opener here for you. But until then, as we like to say, stay safe on the base pass. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good night.